Hello and welcome to Frosted Foxglove and Fae-hearts, a visual novel horror game about Yeshe, who's been watching us in the shadows and trying to capture us. Not much more known about the game. It's the first of 4 chapters. It's a demo, so let's hop right in. What's your name? Voila. Please select the pronouns he and him. It was a cold winter's night. You had just ventured deep into the woods behind your childhood home. Going too deep into them was something your mother had always cautioned against. Couldn't tell if the rumors of the coyotes were the blame for her warning. You were now cursing yourself for not listening, because now you had no idea where you were, and with no service at that. You couldn't help yourself though. Your mother was sick, and there was nothing anymore anyone could do for her. There was an old rumor, however, that if you ventured far enough into the forest, you would find a portal, the one your mom told you about. The portal was supposed to transport one to a different realm. Many had attempted to cross it in the past, thinking the realm was magical. You believed it too. You had heard the rumor all your life, but your family didn't treat it like a rumor, nor did your townsmen. They all feared the forest, keeping their children far from it. No matter how much a pet was loved, it would be written off if they ran into the forest. But after learning about it, many tourists still tried to cross. And we'll never know if they did, because those who did never returned. You don't think you're any different, but since your mother is no longer responding, you have nothing left to lose. So stupidly, you went into the forest, veering off the path, with no backup plan. And now, it was getting darker and darker. The cold was sleeping through your winter coat, and you hadn't bought a flashlight. You knew that once the night enveloped the trees, you'd be at the mercy of what was lurking behind the veil. Your limbs had begun to arch miles ago, and you were beginning to wonder how big this forest really was. You knew that you wouldn't be able to stay upright for much longer, but you pushed on, ignoring the bite of the cold. The gentle chiming of bells behind you grew louder as the wind grew stronger and began to sting your eyes, so you squeezed them shut. The darkness only grew, as did your fear, but you continued walking, the smell of fresh apple pie growing stronger and stronger as you continued. Moments of discomfort are worth it for your mom. You would think only to have your heart stop pounding for a few seconds before the fear would take it over once more. The intense scent of apple pie began to mix with freshly mowed grass, reminding you of our peaceful Saturday mornings with your mom, and you began to cry. Damn, sad story. The warm tears falling down your cold face, leaving behind a trail of melancholic sorrow. You had been holding it together for your mom, but now it's all hitting you like a crashing wave. You had gotten this far on a whim of desperation, but now you might not get to see your mom again. Even though she cannot respond, she is still there, and maybe conscious enough to notice you, and now you're gone, basically. Suck in a breath. At least, if you stay here, anyone looking for you will be more likely to discover you. So you sit down next to a tree, resting your weary head against its hard trunk. You'll probably survive 2 more days out here, if nothing ravenous finds you. Tears begin falling so fast that your breath heavies in your chest. Mix of fear and sorrow, clutching your mind and soul. A fear of losing a mom, and fear of dying in the cold winter night, never even knowing how close you were to another realm. Suddenly, the scent fades, and the chimming bells stop completely. Why are you so troubled? Your mind stops racing. Your tears cease, eyes springing open, searching for the source of the voice. They land on a tall, handsome stranger. You couldn't help but notice he was unusual. The way he carried himself was unnaturally demure. But he wasn't off-putting. Oh, it's him. It was quite the contrary. He was all too inviting. He seemed wise and helpful, and you had no choice but to trust him. I'm lost, and you scared me. Your voice sounded taut. You felt your skin begin to tingle and burn, your mouth dry. The peculiar stranger stood right in front of you, bending down to offer his gloved hand. You decided to take it, and he helped you to your feet, helping you hold balance with a hand on the small of your back. My name is Yeshi. I did not mean to frighten you. I tried to alert you to my presence, but you did not seem to notice. He explained, his voice soft and inviting. You seem to be unwell. Are you from the town? Yes. You have ventured very far from town. Would you like to accompany me to my house? You paused to think about it. You decided it cannot hurt. You did come out here with little plan of survival and no thoughts of how you'll return. So you let him guide you, not paying attention to your surroundings as you whisk it away. Not that you could anyway. It's far too dark to see anything. The animals grew silent when Yeshi approached you. You had not noticed the silence until now. It was eerie. You haven't told me your name. Can I have your name? Yeshi stated plainly. Oh, we'll be nice. You felt safe with Yeshi, so you decided to divulge your name. It's Koala. Yeshi looked down at you with a satisfied look on his face. He seemed proud of you, almost like a cat bringing home a mouse. Koala, he sang, his voice chimming like a handbell. You nodded at him, proud of yourself. The trees rustled, and the wind began to become stronger, rustling trees, desperate to remind you why you were even here. Yeshi? You intrigued. Yes, Koala? Are you familiar with the rumors about this forest? Yeshi gazed down at you, his eyes zoned in on your face. Yes, I am. I came here to pass over. Do you know if it is possible? Why would one as young as you pass over? You break eye contact, gazing ahead of yourself. My mom's sick. You confessed, the weight of your actions crashing down on you. If you thought more thoroughly about this plan, then you'd have decided against coming out here. You'd still be in that hospital room with your mom. How stupid could I be? You thought to yourself. Do you believe you can save her by crossing over? Yes, she cheated. Maybe. Someone can help me if I cross over, or at least give me something to help. I didn't think too far ahead. Yes, she chuckled and patted your shoulder. You have come to the right place for help. He stated plainly, hope welling up in your chest and threatening to spill from your heart like honey. You didn't speak, the hope far too ablaze to snuff out. Your companion leads with relative ease, weaving and breezing past the trees. He knew where he was going well. Although the two of you were moving at a snappy pace, the journey there seemed to take hours, making you already tired legs burn. Yashi grasped your hand tightly, the cold leather chilling your hand. You hadn't realized he knew the forest this well. After what felt like forever, you both had arrived at Yashi's house. Looking closer at Yashi's face, you noticed that from the moment you met him, he'd never stopped smiling, almost like he was over the moon. Let's go inside, you need to warm up. He was right. You were on the verge of freezing to death. It is hard to imagine you living too long without Yashi. It's hard to see in the dark, but you are able to make out two cottages, seemingly made to look like they were made from dirt. Yashi opens the door to his cottage and beckons you inside. You enter and Yashi motions towards his rocking chair. Nested in the corner of the small cottage living room, Yashi had gone to his kitchen and lit a match before lighting a fire in his fireplace. This will warm you up. This will warm up the cottage. Allow me to fetch a blanket for you. Yashi excused himself to another room, grabbed the blanket and brought it back to hand to you. You accepted and wrapped the fleece blanket around yourself. Thank you, Yashi. Yashi promptly nods his head at you, smiling as he does. Would you happen to be hungry? Yashi humbled, his voice sounding like a softly shaken handbell. Yes, I'm starving. Yashi grinned down at you, examining your face before reaching out his gloved hand to pull your blanket over your shoulders. Feel a warmth begin to feast in your heart, like a gentle ember fanned by the wind. So, do you know of anyone who can help me? Yashi turns from you and strides over to his kitchen, pouring water into a pot and grabbing a mix of vegetables and meat from his cupboard. I can help you. He started as he lit another match and started another fire on a stovetop. The fire flickered to life as he placed the pot over the stove burner. You can help my mother? Yashi smirked, a soft chuckle escaping his like a nasty snort. Yeah, I can help her. You smile, the ember in your chest ablaze. You haven't felt hopeful in months. Your life hadn't looked up in a long time. A dead-end job and a terminal ill mom aren't the best combo for morale. You would heal her for me? Yashi began pouring in the veggies and cubed meat, and the water was brought to a boil. You watch as Yashi pours what you assume is a seasoning into the pot. He stirs the pot, adding the ingredients as he does, filling the room with delicious scent. Even if you didn't already like soup, you would have been starving for hours. Regardless, this soup was going to be divine. I will heal her under one condition. Your heart drops. Of course, he wouldn't do it for free. You felt stupid for even thinking he would selflessly help you out. What is it? Yashi continues to stir the pot, his movements hypnotic, like a snake dancing to the tune of a flute. Once I hear her, you come live with me, or at the very least you visit every day and stay every night. You're confused. That is all he wanted? He could have offered anything better. No bills, no responsibilities, and mom gets better, assuming I get to still visit mom. This deal seems a little one-sided. I'm assuming I can still see my mom? Yes, you'd still be allowed to visit your mother. You would still have to come back here. That sounds too good not to have a catch. What if I refuse? Yashi has finished making the soup and poured your bowl, handing it to you along with a spoon. It smelled delicious, the flavors already ghosting in your mouth as you imagined taking a bite. You brought the spoon up to your mouth and swallowed the soup, and it was so delicious. You drank it directly from the bowl, gulping it down, not caring how rude the slurping sounded. After you finished the soup, she took the bowl from you, walked over to the set in the sink, then netted in front of you, knelt in front of you. Not refuse, Koala. You gave me your name. The realization hit you like a truck. Everything about Yeshi suddenly makes sense as your consciousness began to fade, the exhaustion finally catching up to you. Do you want to save your game? Sure. Okay, return. Was it? Now we have to load, no? Damn, that's it? I assume that's it? Yeah. Okay. Not very creepy and a little bit weird, but cute little story. Thank you still for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night, and I see you soon. Goodbye.